Hey, what's up, guys? I think you're gonna love today's video. Today I'll be going over the 5 steps to buying your first real estate rental using my unique strategy. So, step one is creating a profitable real estate investment and knowing your numbers. So, first you have to figure out your rental income, and then you have to figure out your expenses to see if you make cash flow. Basically, you take your rental income, you subtract out your expenses, and whatever is left is considered cash flow. So, in order to do this, you have to know your rental income, right? And you can do that by looking on Craigslist, looking through Facebook groups to see what they're charging. And then you have to know your expenses. So, expenses includes PITI, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And that's basically your monthly mortgage payment that you'll be making. You also have to know your management costs, your costs of maintaining and repairing the house when repairs arise. You also need to know your vacancy costs and something called capital expenditures, which are just one-time like renovation costs that you have to make. So due diligence is very key here. You really have to dig into what are repairs you have to make, what are really the rents that you can expect from getting at the house if you renovate the property, for example. And so knowing your numbers is very important, and that's step one. Step two now is negotiating the deal and understanding seller motivation. So seller motivation is basically what motivates the seller to sell their house right now. So for example, one example could be a family trying to sell their house to move and buy another house in a different state. So in this case, this family will probably view a longer escrow period as a huge plus for them. So what you do is, because if you have a longer escrow period, they have more time to find and purchase a house in that other state without selling their house too early and being homeless for a couple days, right? So this is a huge plus for them. So what you do is you structure the deal to include a longer escrow period, but then of course you get something in return for that, right? So that's step number two is negotiations. And then step number three is something we call preventative maintenance. So preventative maintenance is the idea that you can basically invest in one-time assets that'll save you money, a lot of money in the long run. So one example of this is replacing your grass with mulch, or which is bark, basically. And this will cost some money up front, right? But then it'll save you a ton of money on the water bill later on. Another example of preventative maintenance would be using like Drano, or what I use is called the Green Gobbler, and you pour it down your drains and your sinks, and it eliminates virtually all of your plumbing problems, and so you save thousands of dollars in plumbing expenses. Another great thing you could do is trim your trees, or try to remove your trees where you can, so the leaves don't get on the roof or in the gutter, and you don't need to hire someone to, go on the roof and clean out your gutters, right? Or another thing is the rats and squirrels can climb the branches. And if your branches are overhanging your house, then they could get into your house from the roof, basically. So, it's really important to do these types of preventative maintenance types of things in order to ensure that you save a lot more money in the long run. Another thing I do is I renovate the property to create extra bedrooms. So my model, if you guys don't know already, is I invest in single family homes in college towns, and I renovate to create extra bedrooms. And each bedroom I create, I can get an extra $600 to $700 in rent on. So for me, it's very profitable if I add those extra bedrooms, or if I can get two students to live in a single bedroom, and both pay rent. So those are a couple things I do to increase the profit. So that's step three, basically renovations that will increase your profit, and preventative maintenance, right? So step four is having a system to market and consistently find high quality tenants. This can make or break your investment, because tenants, a good or bad tenant, will really determine your profitability. If someone doesn't pay their rent or you have to evict them, that's going to cost you a lot of money. So you have to know first how to market for high quality tenants. You have to know where to market, and you have to know what a high quality tenant looks like, their profile, income profile. That is very important, and that's step 4. Step 5 is maintaining the property, or having a system to maintain the property and manage the tenants. And eventually you want this all to be automated because you don't want real estate to be a second job for you, right? So that's it. Yes, that's 5 steps for building your first real estate rental using my investment strategy. And if you guys would like to know more about what I do and potentially how I can help you, I do one-on-one coaching. You can contact me at www.newbierealestateinvesting.com. And please feel free to like and subscribe, and ask your questions in the comments of this video, and I'll see you guys next time.